So welcome to today's video. Today's video is called 5 Things We Might See in Alpha 17, or Things We Expect to See. So the first thing I noticed that I wanted to talk about, we'll just title this Sound Detection. So if you noticed, we've seen silenced weapons appearing in the game. Right here, if you look at this this video here, I downloaded this from Lord What's-His-Face's site. I have the link in the description below. If you notice, he's fighting with a silenced weapon here. Now, the silenced weapons, that's great. You know, it's really fun to have silenced weapons, but it does tell me that they're going to make sound a much bigger, important piece of this game. Otherwise, why introduce a silenced weapon? Why be quiet unless the zombies can hear you? You know? And so that makes me wonder if there's a sound detector that's going to be going off by you maybe hitting trees with axes, maybe running your auger, maybe simply your generator running. Because until now, most of what the zombies are attracted to on the PC is heat. You find that they're mostly attracted to things like forges. Sometimes they're attracted to stuff that you place down, just objects that you place down. They might just want to hit that for no reason. But really, heat has been the primary factor of them getting you that, and just visual sight if they see you, obviously. But now I'm thinking with the sound detection, it's going to go not just light detection and heat detection, scent detection if you're on the consoles, but now we might actually have very, very, very detailed sound detection. So that should be really interesting to see. I'd like to see more about that. This part, most people are really excited about. Section 2, vehicles. Now, we've seen a bunch of types of the vehicles so far. We've seen a few of them coming out, and some of them might be rumored, some of them might be real. We won't know until it actually happens. The ones that we do know are real, though, is definitely this new chopper, this hog, this biker. So we've had motorcycles in the game. You can see right here. But now they're adding real choppers, real big ones, and these ones are no joke. From what I understand, you should be able to upgrade them with weaponry and armor and use them to assault zombies. You know, you can run a zombie over and chop its leg off or something like that. So these bikes I'm really excited about, plus they just look freaking awesome. Alright, so this one, van, jeep, all-terrain 4x4 vehicle, whatever you want to call this guy. This one looks like it's a multi-person vehicle. If you've ever driven this game on a motorcycle in the past, you'll notice that when you're chasing a teammate, they kind of glitch around. It's hard for the game to render the props in the distance while you're driving fast. It just forces the draw distance to work overtime. And I'm wondering if adding this in is an indicator that the new Unity engine has an increase to the ability to draw the distance, to draw it faster, or if there's some kind of a compensation, thus reducing lag. But either way, the inclusion of this multi-person vehicle, if it is a multi-person vehicle, tells me a lot about the improvements they have done to the game engine itself. So the third vehicle that we know is cars. Simply cars. You know these ugly cars that you see around? You've seen them around. Cars! Yeah, we're always busting them apart, looking for springs in them, looking for mechanical parts, looking for engines in them. Well, it looks like now we're going to be able to drive them around. I don't know if we can just pick one up. I don't know if we have to repair it. I would like to hope that we have to repair it using certain parts and skills. That would be interesting. But it looks like we can get a car, make a car, drive a car. So that's kind of cool. The only thing I don't like, the car looks like an old Taurus or something, you know? I don't know what that is. I don't really like that car. Anyways, so the fourth vehicle, and this one is, I think, only partially confirmed at the moment, the gyrocopter. The gyrocopter, it's like a single-man helicopter, one that you sit in it, very similar to like a bicycle seat. I do notice one thing, that when it's in the air, on this one video, again from Lord What's-His-Face, I got his link below in the description, that if you notice, the battery is at 0%, and its visibility is at 50%. Now, and I'm wondering if they added a compensation, like for instance, zombies being able to see you when it's time to land, making it tougher to land. That might be interesting. I don't know. Either way, though, it's going to be a lot of fun flying over the world, and you can get some cool thumbnails. Obviously, I want to make my own custom one. I'm really interested to see if we can add upgrades to it, maybe add baskets to it to carry more items, maybe add armor, whatnot, you know. So one last thing I would like to point out about these cars. One last thing I'd like to point out about these cars is they've added car damage. And so not just in running over zombies, but now you can run over blocks. It's demonstrated right here.
Scared the hell out. I heard it. I was like, what is that?
Now that raises questions for PvP damage versus buildings. Now, how interesting would it be to attack an enemy's base on Horde Night by hitting their front door with your Jeep and then terrassing away and saying, "Have fun with the hole, buddies. See you later. Bye." So the Unity engine, it is basically the engine for the game. They've done a lot of changes to it. They've made a lot of changes to make it run faster, run smoother, and look better. These new screenshots I see of the new trees, they look fantastic. Say goodbye to the days of there only being 2 or 3 tree types. I come out here, I see elms, spruces, and oaks, and everything I can imagine. I see all kinds of trees in this, and they look lush and varied, and that's a really welcome change. Apart from that, they also have new lighting effects. Now, these new lighting effects, it really gives a nice look against some of these walls, some of these interiors. This interior right here with this lamp against the table, something where the graphics are a little bit more polished than 7 Days has been. You could tell they've done a lot of work on the engine, on the way it runs. And oh, one last thing they have is new physics in the walking. They have, it's the same walking. You're actually moving up and down the ramps at the same speed as you used to, but they've changed the animations on your characters so it doesn't look like you're doing that running and hovering over the air kind of thing that you do before. You're really running up and down the terrain now, and it looks much better. And on top of it, I do like these body models a little better. So they changed a lot in the not just the physics, but the way the world is laid out. New locations are really important to me. This is the most exciting thing for me. This is what draws me to Random Gen, is just hoping to find new locations. So here's one of the biggest ones: houses. Houses are now like dungeons. You know, in the old days, a house had a front door, a back door, some windows and shit. You kind of go in, you pick up your stuff, you go. Now they've changed it. They've added in trap doors, ways to work your way through the house to make your way to the roof, in and out. They've turned it into more like a Skyrim style dungeon, and that's pretty cool. That's really interesting. I'm gonna play them just for fun, even though I know it's easier just to build a ladder and chop through the wall or whatever. I'm gonna play them for fun because, you know, why not? So they changed enemy pathing. Now, what I mean by enemy pathing is many things. It's not just the way the enemies walk, but it's the way they interact with you, their combat systems and everything. The enemies in the old days, they would walk forward and they'd wind up and they'd take a swing at you and you dodge it. And then you move forward and you hit them with a club or whatever. And now they swing as they run. They don't have to stop to wind up. They just keep going. It's much more dangerous. It's much, much more scary. You also now have multiple attacks though. Before you only had the one club swing. Now you have a standard swing and a power swing. And as expected, the power swing will probably take more endurance than the normal swing. That makes sense. Here's one other thing they added that complicates all that. They added ragdoll physics when the zombies pass out. And so now, imagine, if you will, you've got yourself a zombie cage, right? And the zombies are all pushing against your bars. And you club the one at the front. And the zombies behind him start pushing forward and push that zombie through your bars. And then he wakes up and you got a zombie inside your cage. This kind of scenario scares the crap out of me. You know, it's an even scarier scenario. What if they taught the zombies to jump up to the second rung of the ladder? Now, I don't know about you guys. I use this trick all the time to find a first safe base. I'll jump up a ladder, and I'll chop out the bottom, and I'll live on a roof on day one. And that's how I know I'm safe for at least the first day. What if they taught them how to jump up one? Oh, or climb on a ragdolled body? Oh. And this is the worst one, the worst of all. What if zombies can finally dig down? So in the old days, you would, if you wanted to survive, you would just find yourself a shovel and a hole and a little bit of wood, and you would dig yourself a ladder down. Maybe you might cover up the hole, and you would just live underground, and zombies had no idea where you were at. They'd come and they'd walk right over, and your family was happy and safe and secure in their underground mole man house. But then now, with Alpha 17, what if the zombies come along and don't just come past, but instead they come down, come to get you where you hide. So I've had an idea that this is going to change the way we have to build bunkers and houses. I mean, of course, besides putting things like turrets or blade traps inside the house, I actually think we're going to have to start building attic space inside of our bunkers. We're going to have to build a bunker that the top floor might be blades, and then the floor under that might be spikes filled in between by maybe a row of reinforced concrete. So when the zombies come down, they will have to work their way through it, and thus we might have to repair it in between. Oh, this changes a whole lot. This has been really interesting, and I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Maybe take a moment to consider subscribing. Follow me on my Twitter and my Discord below. We play 7 Days to Die all the time, and I have all the answers you could ever need. Just simply ask. You all have a nice day, and thanks for joining my channel, and I'll see you all in my next Alpha 17 7 Days to Die video.